Hey everyone, if you're a filmmaker or a photographer, you would agree that nailing the perfect exposure for your shots is very important. And when it comes to nailing that exposure for video, it can get a bit tough and very tiring in some situations. What if I tell you that the Lumix S5II and the S5IIX have some really good industry leading options available inside the camera itself that actually big cinema cameras have to get you that perfect exposure? Welcome to Lumix Lessons. In today's session, we are going to be talking about the things that you need to turn on inside your camera to get that perfect exposure, and also the accessories that you would need to nail it in every situation. First, make sure that you have a gray card. This one right here is a 42% gray at Vlog, and it is perfect for situations when you are shooting video in any kind of lighting, indoor or outdoor. The basic IRE level for Vlog is 42, and for other color profile it's at 40. Also remember that the S5II and the S5IIX have dual native ISO. 640 for the lower circuit when shooting in Vlog and 4000 for the higher circuit. Try to make sure that you're shooting at the native ISO levels whenever you're nailing that exposure. Now let's dive into the exposure tools that the camera has. The first one is histogram. While it's not always the best tool for video, it can give you a general idea of what your exposure is. Just adjust its position on the screen and aim to have the peak slightly on the right for a correctly exposed image. One of my favorite tools that the S5II and the S5IIX have is the luminance spot meter. It places a square on your screen, allowing you to measure the exact exposure on a specific spot. In Vlog, it provides stop counts, and in other color profiles, it gives you a percentage. The goal is to get a 0.0 for Vlog and 40% in other color profiles. Also remember, the light meter actually is reading the LRE counts. So you have to manage the exposure either by controlling the aperture, or I would recommend you to use a variable ND filter to manually reduce or increase light. Now let's turn on the zebra pattern. The zebra pattern is a useful tool for setting exposure as well. You can set a base range with a variation of plus or minus 0.2, where you can set the zebra stripes. When you see the zebra stripes, it means that area is exposed correctly according to the middle gray. That is 42 IRE for Vlog and 40% for other profiles. It's a great way to ensure your highlights and shadows are within the right exposure range, giving you the ability to manage the dynamic range of your camera and making sure that everything stays within the limits. Now, something that I've seen only with professional equipment and high-end cinema cameras, that is waveform. You do not need an external monitor to get that waveform. It is inbuilt into this camera itself. This is a pro level tool that you have access to now if you have the S5II or the S5IIX. It displays the highlights at the top, middle grays in the middle and shadows at the bottom. Adjust your settings like aperture and the variable ND to keep the middle gray line right around 42 IRE for Vlog and of course 40% for other color profiles. Make sure that your wave is right in the middle so that you have enough bandwidth to edit the highlights and shadows in post-production. If you're somebody who is shooting Vlog, the waveform is the tool that you need to go to. I know filmmakers and photographers who have started shooting in Vlog and who purely depend on this, and they don't even look at the image. In some cases, the image actually would look overexposed or something like that. In that cases, please go to this tool and it will give you the correct reading so that you can actually get your highlights back in post-production and recover your shadows as well. We've explored all the exposure tools of the Lumix S5II and the S5IIX. These tools are incredibly powerful and will help you out capturing beautifully exposed videos in different situations. If you're somebody who is very much serious about skilling up and getting that perfectly exposed images, well, then use these settings. And if you have any questions, put it in the comment box below. And of course, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until next time, ciao.
Panasonic.